Do you have an example of an organisation that you worked with over a number of years where this data about audiences helped that organisation to change and become more resilient?
Yeah, I think the example that would spring to mind immediately would be Milton Keynes Council. We started working with Milton Keynes over 10 years ago, and working with the council, we were working with also the other cultural and arts providers in Milton Keynes. We started setting up with them a group which was called the Audience Development Forum, and that group looked at how collectively they could work in Milton Keynes to increase the numbers of people engaging in arts and culture. It was quite unique at the time. We had heritage as well sitting on that group, so it wasn't just an arts group. That group got started by building an evidence base of who was currently engaging with them and who wasn't engaging with them, and used that as that starting platform. What was really good is that because that group existed, it was able to turn into the Arts and Heritage Alliance that now exists on the MK. It was able to sit on the development boards that were taking place in Milton Keynes, and it created a voice for the arts and culture in the development of the city. The benefit from it was it started always by being a driven conversation about who is our audience and what are we doing. And of course, what that became very clear is, for the first time, everyone was very confident that the one thing they always had in common, whether they were a community arts organisation, a big commercial theatre, or the volunteer-run museum, was they shared an audience. They didn't necessarily share all the same people, but they shared an area that they were drawing an audience from, and that was very important to them. And the data that we were able to provide about those people, where they came from, why they didn't and why they did engage, were the key issues that allowed them to work together to increase engagement.
And did the size of that audience increase over time?
It's interesting that I'd love to be able to give you this fantastic evidence which went, yes, when they first went there. I'm not sure there's enough solid evidence to say that there was an increase in the growth in those audience. Well, perhaps to say that I think this is perhaps a challenge for all audience development. There are a number of other factors that will have taken place. Because they were together as a group, there was an increased investment in arts and culture, which meant there was an increase in the amount of product that was made available. There was certainly an increase in quality of product over a 10-year process as well. And there was an increase in investment, the biggest example being the large investment in the Milton Keynes International Festival, which had its first year last year, or was it the year before, and is about to have its second year. So there was a big investment in the arts and culture, which might mean that just the activities that we did weren't the only reasons why there's an increase in engagement.